Hello everybody and happy Vlogtober day 1. So it is 2024, long time no see. I have not vlogged in forever. So let me start out by saying I am sick again. I'm literally sitting in my house right now watching my 2020 Vlogmas just because I'm home from work sick. I've been home. This is day 7 of being sick. Thankfully it was like through a weekend, so I didn't like miss that many days of work, but like I've missed more than I'd want to. So excuse like my voice, my appearance, the cough, like I am just a mess. I want to give a quick kind of like life update because it's been 4 years since I've posted. So obviously a lot has changed. And I don't have like a huge amount of time like right at this moment actually. And I'll explain in a second. So let me just give you like a real quick overview. So last time you saw me was during Vlogmas 2020. John and I were engaged. We were like redoing our kitchen. We have done so much work to this house since then. John and I are married. We are happily married. We got married in January of 2022. So we've been married for almost 3 years already, which is crazy. We are still very happily like together, and like we are each other's like rock best friend. I have so many good things to say about him. Max is still here. Max is here. Max is 7 years old now, so he's definitely a little bit older. You could probably see like tell his temperament is definitely like different now. Obviously I look different, I'm sure. And we had a baby. So we had a baby girl in December of 2023. Her name is Madison. So Madison was born, like I said, in 2023 via C-section. She's been on social media, on like my Instagram, my TikTok, all that stuff, but she has not yet made a debut on YouTube. So you will see her in one of these videos very soon. As I was saying, I've been homesick. So my husband has been really helping me with taking care of the baby. So the baby goes to daycare 4 days a week, Monday to Thursday. Both of our jobs are different now. I'm still a nurse. I work at an outpatient dialysis center. So I only work Monday to Thursday, 8-hour shifts. And my husband, excuse me, he works Monday through Friday as a maintenance officer in a prison. So he does like the maintenance and all of that, the upkeep, stuff like that. So the nice thing is we have weekends off, we have holidays off, we have dinner together every day. We see each other a lot more compared to like the videos in the past that I've posted, so that's really nice. But we have nobody for daycare. So Madison does go to a daycare, like a school. It's actually a school where they like teach them. She's 9.5 months, almost 10 months. And she is at school today while I'm home from work. And I have to go pick her up in a little bit, so I need to go take a shower and get ready. Long story short, my husband has a ton of PTO that he needs to take. So he took today off just to like go to the city with a couple of our friends, and they're all in Manhattan today, just like hanging out, eating food and stuff. And he's been bringing Madison to daycare and picking her up every day while I've been sick. So I have not picked her up in forever. I usually pick her up after work, and I haven't picked her up in a while. So I have to go pick her up. in a little bit. So I do want to take a shower before I do that, just because John's not home. And we have a pretty established, I would say, like, nighttime routine that we do with her, which is going to be very different today because he's not home. He'll be home a little bit later. But like I said, I'm sick, just like in my other vlog, so it kind of inspired me to do Vlogtober. I'm going to really try to go back to work tomorrow. I think that's my plan. I really wanted to go back today, but when I woke up, I was like, I just can't. If you guys can see, I have like viral pink eye, like from this virus I've been fighting. It's not COVID, it's not the flu, it's not bacterial strep throat. I was tested for all those things. Everything was negative. So I've just been like fighting this awful virus for like a week. And I just have a really lingering cough and then the eyes. But other than that, like, I do get tired and out of breath. But like the fever's gone, the body aches are gone, like that just like overarching feeling of like feeling like absolute garbage is gone at least. I still don't feel amazing or myself 100%, but I think if I take it easy, I could probably manage going back to work tomorrow. So I don't know what this is gonna look like as far as like if I'm gonna do daily vlogs. I might have like some daily vlogs, some days might be combined, just with both of us working, and then like me being a new mom and also being sick and everything. I don't know if I'm gonna get to vlog literally every single day, but I'm gonna try, and we'll see. I don't know if I'll do daily uploads though. So like I said, I'm going to go take a shower and then get changed, so that I can pick her up. Typically, actually, I usually shower with her, just to help like quickly like bathe her daily after she goes to school. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to take my own shower and I'll give her a bath after dinner. Because no one else is home and I just don't feel comfortable. Like, just in case, like, I would drop her or something like that. Especially being sick, I'm, like, just not fully confident in myself. So, I want to be safe, obviously. But I can't wait for you guys to meet Madison. She's absolutely adorable and she is so funny. And she's like definitely developing a little personality already. And I'm sure you will meet her soon, if not today, in one of the upcoming days. So I will see you guys later. And it's nice to be back. Hey guys, so I don't have a ton of time. I have to go get Madison soon. But I did want to kind of like sit down for a second and like go through some more life updates because I feel like this is important information. So I would say a lot of things have changed since 2020, but excuse me. Sorry, but a lot of things are also still very much the same. I would say the last year brought the biggest changes for us in our family. So let's rewind. April 7th, 2023, I found out I was pregnant with Madison. Obviously, I didn't know it was Madison, but I knew I was pregnant. And John and I were so excited, and I found out so early. Like, I was like only like 3 weeks pregnant when I found out. So we had we had to keep it in for a little bit, and then we told our immediate family, with both sets of parents, and then my husband's brother and his family came over for Easter, which was I think in like mid-April. So not, or like mid to late April. So it wasn't that long after, but like it was like definitely like a week or something. Cause I remember like it was really hard, obviously, like not to tell, especially like my mom, because we talk all the time. And sorry about that. And basically we told them, they were really excited. Then we had our gender reveal. I think it was in June. Found out we were having a girl. And everyone was really excited because on my side of the family, this was their first grandchild. My parents, I'm an only child, so their grandchildren are all gonna come from me. And my husband's family, they have 2 grandsons already, but they didn't have a girl. So like when they found out it was a girl, they were very excited. So everyone was just excited in general. Then excuse me, fast forward to July, so only like a month or so after the gender reveal, John and I were literally getting ready to go on our baby moon. I think like the next day or 2 days later, something like that. Some of our friends had come to visit from North Carolina. I think they were coming up for like a wedding or something. And so they just happened to be around and they're like, do you guys want to go to dinner? So we were planning to go to dinner with them, and we were dropping Max off at my in-laws just so he wasn't alone. They watched him a lot. And while we were dropping him off, my brother-in-law was there with his wife and my nephews. And John's parents were like, we gotta talk to you guys. So we all like sat down, and this is not really something that they normally have done, so like it was kind of weird, but they basically told us that John's dad was gonna be retiring within the next like couple months, and they were gonna sell their house and they wanted to move back to Portugal. And obviously this was shocking for all of us because we were not expecting to hear this news, especially like right after we told them like they were gonna have their first granddaughter and like their first grandchild from my husband. So like obviously that really hurt him and me too. Like I mean, it's definitely hard because it just wasn't what we expected. But at the same time, like, we were very supportive of their decision. Like, they had made a lot of sacrifice in their life to come here and raise their children here. And now, like, their children are grown and married and have their own families. And they want to go back and, like, enjoy the rest of their time in this life, like, in the country that they're comfortable with, familiar with, like have other family there that they don't see often. So like I do understand that aspect too. So basically they were like, do you guys mind if we stay with you, because we're gonna sell the house, we're gonna need to like live with you guys for like a year. So obviously that is not a question that, in my opinion, that you should just answer right then and there, which it kind of was, but that's like a whole nother situation. That's not what this video is about. But so long story short, like, yes, they were gonna like live with my brother-in-law for a little bit and then with us. So come September, they sold their house, they moved in with my brother-in-law, and that was pretty much the plan until like the new year. Right after New Year's, they were gonna fly to Portugal for a couple months to like look for houses. So in the meantime, John and I were just focusing on, you know, my pregnancy and getting me through everything and staying healthy and like making sure the baby was healthy and all that stuff. Come November, my dad called me like a day or two before Thanksgiving and was like, hey, I was in the emergency room with a cough and they think I might have pneumonia, so I don't know like if you're comfortable like being around me because I don't want to like get you or the baby sick. Obviously the baby wasn't born yet, but like just so you know. So he ended up not having pneumonia, which we'll get to soon, but he didn't have any symptoms. He wasn't sick. He wasn't coughing. Like there was like nothing other than he had coughed up a little blood at one point. No fevers, like nothing. So we felt comfortable enough doing Thanksgiving with my parents, which I'm really glad we did. So then comes December, and I gave birth to Madison via C-section on December 11th, 2023, and she was born at 1:23 p.m., which is pretty crazy, like all the 1, 2, 3s, which is also my mom's birthday. Like my mom's January 23rd. So anyways, like obviously everyone's like ecstatic, all that stuff. Like both sets of parents come and like immediately meet her. My sister-in-law works at the hospital I delivered in, so like she met her right away. And then my brother-in-law was sick, so he didn't end up meeting her till like a week later with my nephews, because kids aren't allowed in the hospital unless they're siblings. So they came to the house like a little bit later. But regardless, like everyone's already like in love with her, and so now we're just kind of like getting used to being parents, John and I. So Christmas and New Year's comes and goes. John's parents go to Portugal for house hunting, and we're just enjoying my maternity leave, and John's enjoying he actually was out on a workman's comp for his back, but like the nice thing was it kind of like lined up where he almost had like a paternity leave, even though that's not what it was for. He was able to spend a lot of time with us, which was nice. So enjoying the baby, all that stuff. So in January, my dad ended up in the hospital with some like flank pain, and they like misdiagnosed him. I think they said it was like maybe like a trauma to the kidney. They couldn't find any cause, anything. Like they literally like basically like sent him home. So he was treated in the hospital for like pain and stuff, but then like they did tests and then they sent him home. And his cough never really fully went away. So on a CAT scan, they did find that he had a little spot on his lung. But all of his doctors were like, do not worry about it. It's nothing. It's probably like just from the pneumonia you had. Like, it's not a big deal. They didn't want him to see pulmonary until April. But I didn't think that was right. So I had told my dad, I think you should go sooner. So he was able to make an appointment, I think, for like February or something like that. Because of the hospitalization that he was in, he was able to like push it up. So anyways, like we celebrated my birthday, like that was all nice. My dad was in the hospital. He came out of the hospital. We celebrated Super Bowl, which was in February with my dad. And then John, me and one of our good friends in Madison went on like a mini little trip to New Hampshire just to literally go sit in a cabin and like be away from everything. Like we were tired as parents, like being cooped up in the house with a newborn, like all that stuff. So we were there, and then it's 2024 now, so it's a leap year. So on February 29th, 2024, my dad went into the hospital for a lung biopsy of this little spot that was found. When he was in the biopsy, they ended up collapsing his lung, which is somewhat common in that procedure. So he was requiring a chest tube and to be monitored overnight. This all happened when I was in New Hampshire. So I was like freaking out, like I was away, like I was like, should I leave my trip? Like my parents were like, don't leave the trip, like you're coming home tomorrow, like it's gonna be fine. So anyways, March, I think it was like March 2nd or 3rd, we were going to go visit my dad in the hospital, and this day was also the day that John's parents were supposed to be flying back from Portugal to move in with us. And we got a call that morning from my dad that the doctors had went into his hospital room and said that they did diagnose him with lung cancer. Which I was distraught. I mean, I stayed strong for him on the phone, but as soon as I hung up, like, with my dad, I was just, like, in shambles. Like, I think I almost fell to the floor in the kitchen in my parents' house, like, sobbing. And, like, my mom and my husband and my cousin was there, too, and they, like, came, and they're like, Katie, like, that doesn't mean, like, it's not a death sentence, like it's gonna be okay, like we're gonna figure this out. All this stuff. But I was also like very stressed from just like having him in the hospital, being a new mom, doing all that stuff, having my in-laws gonna be like living with us for like months, and there was no time, like we didn't know like when they were gonna be moving, so we were like, it could be like weeks, it could be months, it could be years, like we have no idea. And I don't do well with like unknowns and like with like unknown timelines. Like I need dates, times, like that's just how I operate. So all of this was very stressful for me as it was. So I have to get ready to go in a minute, but basically, so March kind of was a freaking shit show of a month, and I was in the hospital with my dad a lot, and I was leaving Madison with my in-laws to be cared for, and I was still on maternity leave, and it broke my heart every single day to have to like leave. Not that my in-laws are wonderful and like they're great with her, like it's nothing like on them, it's just like as a new mom, and I'm sure like most moms out there could probably relate to this, like leaving your baby for the first time is hard. Especially like for a situation like I was in, like it's not for like, oh, I'm going to work, it's literally like I'm going to take care of my sick father in the hospital that like could be dying. Like it was just like it was just so much. So basically every time I was with my dad, I was just thinking of Madison and like how much I missed her and wanted to be with her. And then every time I was home with Madison, I was just thinking about my dad and like how worried I am about him and how I want to be with him at his bedside. And like that was awful to experience, and I do not wish that on anyone. Like it is awful to go through. Basically losing a parent and becoming a parent at the same time. So my dad had a lot of ups and downs in the hospital, mostly downs, unfortunately. And March 26th, 2024, my dad passed away from lung cancer. And that was absolutely heartbreaking for me. Like, I mean, obviously, even now, like, every day I have to think about that, and, like, how it affects me is just a whole, like, I can't even explain it or describe it unless you've, like, gone through grief before. Like, I guess you would understand, like, losing somebody so close to you, especially, like, so quick. Like, he literally didn't even live 1 month past his diagnosis. And, like, the way that he struggled and, like, the way that we all, obviously, like, were struggling, like, mentally, but, like, trying to be strong for him for 1 month absolutely shattered me. And I can't even imagine the people that like go through like years of cancer treatments and like years of struggles and like end up like passing away, because it's like 1 month of that was like awful for everyone, and especially obviously my dad. And I can't even fathom, like, my heart goes out to everyone that deals with this chronic illness in any way, shape, or form. And I'm a nurse, so like I know, and like, but it's obviously very different experiencing it for yourself and like a loved one that you're very close with versus like patients. And like not to say that I don't care about my patients, because I do. I'm actually a very empathetic nurse to my patients. But like, it's just different. And obviously, I think that's pretty like self-explanatory. So yeah, so we're left now with John and I live here still in our house with Madison and Max. And, I still have my mom, and my mom is amazing, and I love her very much. But, she has her own, struggles with losing my dad, obviously. And, she's about 35-40 minutes away, so it's not easy for her to, see us like daily or even weekly. And my brother-in-law, they live even farther. They live probably like more like 45 minutes away. And, he has 2 young kids. My nephews are both in sports, and they're very busy too. And my brother-in-law and my sister-in-law both work full-time. So, like, unfortunately, we don't get to see our families as often as we'd like to at this point. I didn't even say. So after, obviously, March came and went, my dad passed. My in-laws stayed with us until July. So I had gone back to work after my dad passed away in April, like mid-April. I went back to work. So Madison was with my in-laws until the end of July, and she started school, and she loves school, and I actually really need to go get her. So I'm going to end this, and I will potentially do video when she gets home. We'll see, because I do have a lot to do with her being by myself today, but we'll see what I could do. Okay, thanks. Hey guys, so I just got back from picking Madison up, and Miss Rachel's playing in the background, so that's pretty loud. This is Madison. Say hi. This is my daughter, Madison. She's 9. Excuse me. She's like 9 and like 3/4 months. She'll be 10 months on the 11th of this month. She's right now, you can see she's like she's able to pretty much stand if she holds something, but like I think she's gonna walk early. Like she's just like ready to walk, I think. Flowers smell nice. Yeah. But she loves watching Miss Rachel, so we usually let her watch it a little bit after school. And then after like her bath time, we let her watch a little bit. And this just gives like John and I an opportunity usually to like come home, like wash her bottles from school, kind of like put our stuff down, and like give us a few seconds to like get organized. And then like after her bath, we let her watch it to like as like entertainment. And that's it. So thankfully she hasn't gotten what I have. I do breastfeed her, so I think the that's helped a lot with like the antibodies and all that stuff. So thank God, because this is awful, and I hope she doesn't catch it. So I'm gonna go play with her and make dinner for us in a little bit. And I don't know if I'll see you guys later or not. But if I don't, see you tomorrow. If I do, see you later.